Welcome to Pulse of Culture. I'm Karolina Szapland. We're coming to you from Wrocław, from the 7th edition of the Kinomural festival. With me is Bartek Bartos, one of the directors of this festival. Bartek, thank you so much for finding the time in the middle of the festival.
Yes, we are in the middle of the festival, not so long festival because it lasts just 2 nights, but it's just like 2 long film screenings.
It is, and the first thing which our viewers might find absolutely fascinating is the type of the media that's shown in Wrocław. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
You know, the new media art, it's something which, probably Yoshi already was talking about it, that it's surrounding us, everywhere.
Yoshi, one of the headliners of you.
Yoshi Sodeoka, Japanese artist, who is our a headliner and main star of this edition. So that what used to be experimental in the 80s, 90s, or the beginning of the 20th century, because of the tools, was like a niche. And right now it's everywhere. It's behind you. It's now with smartphones everywhere, and we are even not able, to distinguish: is it art or is not an art? It's just like audiovisual content right now. So new media. It's something that gives you the chance, the new media art gives you the chance, to go much deeper,
How can we talk still about new media art when all of us, we have all of our mobile phones and we seem to be creating art, taking pictures, creating collages every day. So how would you define the role of an artist in such environment?
We are showing sometimes very, let's say, big art, very niche, which exists in the biggest galleries all over the world. But we are also sometimes taking out from the Instagram, from the content which exists, in the TikToks, the artists, which are completely unknown, and they are, for example, doing those kind of the GIFs which last for 10 seconds. We are contacting them and say, if you will be able to make it like 2 or 3 minutes, we feel that it will be very good for Kinomural. So something which was not even the pop art, in this kind of platform, this kind of medium, it's becoming totally different. It's becoming an art. So I think this is it explains a lot about the new media art.
So on one hand, you're reaching out to artists and you curate your own pieces for the festival, but you also invite really well-established artists. And who are your top names this year?
Yeah, of course, Yoshi Sodeoka. Yoshi does. We are very, very happy that that he's here because this is the first time he's in Poland, and he's not such a guy who likes to be the part of the festival. So it's also because of the Peterberg, who is our
your
friend.
Second big name, yes.
Yeah, second big name. Last names, Peter exists in our project as a curator, not as an artist, but we are playing for the next edition that he's got a great project. We would like to show it during the next edition. Yeah, so Yoshi, this is obvious, you can check, you can. This is the guy who starts in the 80s, he was the one of the first, using all these tools which were existing those times. For me, O Future. This is she is from South Africa and he is from Denmark. They used to cooperate with Lars von Trier, amazing thing, something which is really. And we even decided to show one of the work which lasts for almost 8 or 9 minutes, which is for Kinomural. It's pretty long. Yeah. So O Future, this is something which from the beginning, when Peter introduced me to the artwork, I was just like, wow, that's gonna work. That's really something. So.
And something that people from Wrocław are used to, they're expecting it, which is the space, was a huge draw. Peter Burr shared with us earlier that it's a really big thing for him to see these images projecting at this very special part of Wrocław. Can you tell our viewers a bit more about?
I'm always telling that the Kinomural can happen only in Wrocław. It's about the urbanistic situation, the history situation after the war, that we got this, that Nadodrze is the north of Wrocław, and it wasn't as destroyed as the rest of the city. So, but still, it was partly destroyed. So we have this like empty spaces between the buildings. So we got this huge walls.
Yeah, blank
exactly.
walls. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're always, looking for these districts where there's lots of those kind of walls, and they are close to each other. And we knew from the beginning that we are like going in the living structure. There are citizens, there are neighbors, there's lots of cars, there's lots of situation, So it's not like that everybody is, loving us and is expecting us and waiting for us for whole year, because probably he's a bit nervous because he has to find a place for his car during the festival because he cannot park.
And a very special place, because it's not just those scars from World War II, but this is not, dare I say it, a very gentrified part of Wrocław. It's quite rough around the edges.
It is changing, of course. I remember during when Wrocław was the European capital culture in 2016. There was a lot of plans about this. We call it this district. Nadodrze as a Breslauer Kreuzberg, like the part of the building. It looks like it is similar. The history is very similar, and the city were similar before the war. But I think it's within last years it's even changed, because, for example, of the society, there is more and more Ukrainians people living over there. So we see that the response of the neighbors, not only because of the gentrification, but not only because of the Ukrainians, but it's just like everything is really changing so quickly that we cannot predict what will happen. About this district, but that's what is great, that these people knows that we are already the part of this district.
The fabric of the city.
Yeah, of the fabric, exactly.
So the environment is changing, the district of Wrocław is changing. What about Kinomural? It's 7th edition. What do you see ahead of you? That's my last question.
Yesterday, for 2 hours, I was talking with Yoshi and with Peter Bear. With Yoshi said, okay, Peter Bear, about my ideas and their ideas, because Peter Bear knows the project, but Yoshi saw it for the first time. And honestly, I don't know, because we had so many ideas, and some of them are as crazy as the project was from the beginning, but because I'm always saying that it was the idea of 2 young artists, not the guys who would like to run the festival, but who would like to changing, our space, which surrenders, the city, showing our art. So I would like to do with my team something which will be also something makes an effect wow for me, that I will just sit there and say, wow, this is something. So lots of plans. I think this project will be evolving, and
watch the space.
Yeah, exactly. So 8th edition.
Yeah. Well, we'll be here. Thank you so much for finding the time in the middle of the festival to talk to us. Also spoken to Krzysztof Kuki-Iwański, who is responsible for Kinomural's complete visual identity. Kuki is a Polish graphic artist and poster designer who blends Bauhaus discipline with bold colors and typography to create striking yet functional compositions. So, could you share with our viewers your concept for the digital brand of the Kinomural Festival?
So I was invited to sort of rebrand the thing. It was almost a year ago, and it was a tough thing because it was 6th edition, and so after 6 editions, they really felt like, okay, we need to change. We need to go to the next level in a way with the creation. And so then we start talking about it, how we can do it, how we can make it more contemporary, more nowadays. And so there was decision made that because it's Kinomural, the word doesn't exist, so there was a new made-up word. So then the idea was just to combine it with these two words, so create this sort of block image of K and M, and show it to the people, like how. So this logo, sort of not a logo, but this concept, sort of represents the walls itself. And,
yeah, because it's kind of the K and M
yes.
represent the quarter of Wrocław,
exactly.
where the Kinomural takes place.
And it's quite an easy, very easy idea, sort of. So we have like this concept not to make it too complicated, just to make it for the people, just make it public. And also all the typography rest is just very easy to read, very blocky, very bold, so it's just, yeah.
But it's not just a 2D logo. You take it because Kinomural is a new media festival. You took this logo a step further, whether this logo is ever changing depending on an artist.
Yes, so there was also a decision made that this logo will never be the same. So each time we show it, it's always in a constant move, which is, it's been done before, but for many brandings, but here it just suits so well.
And Kuki, you are of renown in Poland, graphic artist, especially known for your posters. And posters are, very flat, very 2D form. How did you make this jump from posters to this brand design?
Well, yes, I started with posters, but then we live in a new sort of perspective era, so the poster doesn't work anymore. They don't push the message, and so at some point I begin to make moving posters, like animated posters. So that's the next level of poster thinking, but then branding is much more exciting, I would say, and you can say more, and you can just build a story around it. And yeah, the posters are being sort of vintage right now. And
you're breaking my heart because I'm a huge lover of the so-called Polish school of posters. Were you in any way inspired by this body of Polish artwork in a poster form?
I always say I'm not, but many people say that they see the influence. So I say yes and no.
So if you're not consciously inspired by the Polish school of posters, how about the second part of your artistic residence, you living for so long in Southeast Asia? Maybe that inspires your work more?
100%. And I even started my own project. I begin to make these environmental flags that represent most of the problems that Southeast Asia is facing right now. So yeah, a lot. I mean, it's way more inspiring than just living in Poland for such a long time, and it just gives you another perspective on how the world is constructed.
And Kinomural being this digital murals projected onto walls in Poland, especially in such an old setting in Wrocław, feels very fresh. What about visual identification? What about the visual projections in Asia? Is that something that's more part of the everyday landscape?
Not in the place that I live. I live in Indonesia, so they don't really have the new media form as much as...
Okay, because we imagine all them living in 2050 sort of Blade Runner experience.
Yeah, but this is more Japan or Korea or actually China right now, mostly like Shanghai, and that's the thing. But Asia is humongous. We really don't have we have a very bad perspective of Asia here in Europe, because we see it on map, and also map is a bit tricky because it doesn't show how big it is. And so it's very diverse, and also it's like, I don't know, 10 times bigger than Europe, so the diversity is much bigger than here, I guess.
So finally, you came back from Indonesia back to Poland. You've got this big legacy, which will be the 10 years of Kinomural visual representation. Any other project that our viewers can look out for?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I have my own sort of, it's not a new media, it's a flag project. It's called Ghosts of Tomorrow, so you can basically Google it and check it out.
Well, we'll certainly will. Cookie, thank you so much for talking to us. And you were watching Pulse of Culture. I'm Karolina Shapland. Please stay tuned for more.